There is going to be a decent amount of housekeeping in this video, so just a bit of warning, you might want to skip forward. I'm trying to make it so that even if I forget to actually put the tags or anything on the warning saying this, that by the time you see gameplay footage, then you'll know it's safe. But anyway, I'm going to say hello and welcome into another episode of Storytime with Sky Fellowship, but I will be doing the housekeeping first. Also, I'm trying something. I've turned my HDR off for this recording because when I recorded Elden Ring, with HDR on, it looked fine for me, but the video footage when it went up might have been a bit washed out, and I think that's because Steam doesn't really like HDR, so hopefully that helps. I'm also going to adjust the audio down even further because I've noticed that it doesn't matter how quiet the audio is for me, it seems to be way louder on the actual recording, and I'm worried I'm making this too quiet, but at the end of the day, like, you're not really watching this for actual footage of me playing the game, I guess. So I'm going to say the bit of housekeeping. I always planned to do this video today, and I planned to do it, a couple of videos to batch upload because things have been going a bit dicey, and today I literally had to go to the doctor's. I'm not going to go too much here because I understand there might be some people who are squeamish in that, but at the same time I do actually very quickly need to take meds because I've just reminded myself, and of all the times to accidentally punch myself dropping one, it would have to be now. That really hurt because I've just punched the thing that's the problem. Basically, I think it's kind of funny that I picked today to do Resident Evil 4, the remake, because I actually feel like I've got a parasite living inside me. It's not like a parasite, it's apparently you can get infected sweat glands. I learned this 4 years ago when I had one, and it seems to be coming back, and my doctors are not being the best. They can't remember any of this happening 4 years ago. They've apparently kept no records on it, and now they're trying to say, well, this one might be worse and you might need meds, but the meds might actually kill you because you're on the medical marijuana for the migraine. So yeah, I'm going through some things, to say the least. By the time you actually see this video, you might genuinely know, I guess, that all is okay, because I am trying to batch record a bunch of stuff in case this completely stops me from doing it. Because, weirdly, and, right, I'm going to say right now, I do overshare, and I know I do, but this is part of, I know the word's not culture, it's just part of what people like me are. So autistic, complex PTSD, and a millennial, this tends to be, we overshare. So again, it's not culture, it's I can't think of the right word, but this just tends to be the way we are. And basically, I sweat profusely for some reason when I record for a long moment at a time. It's not even just recording, it's just talking. Like, if I sit in chat talking to people, I will be drenched with sweat. I don't know why. Talking makes me sweat. Anyway, I'm going to very quickly take the med, and then actually, as soon as you see the footage, I'll be able to officially start this damn video. Which, I understand fully if you skip these. I, like, skip to the footage. I really do. So yeah, total professionalism, having to leave dead air while I do that. I am, at the very least, going to go turn the alarm off before I forget, because that's the other thing, I tend to forget to do that, and then it goes off in the video as well. But, right then. I literally put this game on yesterday just to try to shake the rust off, and I actually beat my previous high score that I had with Carlos. I beat my previous high score with Ada, so no doubt, or Ada, to be fair. I've never really known if it's Ada or Ada. But no doubt I'll play like absolute crap here because I'm going to be too busy talking. So I'm going to get on with this episode. Will officially be titled Second Chances, and I'm calling it a second chance because I need to go back to the beginning with Resident Evil. So I was 10 years old, and one of my brother's friends, who was like, he was always known as the skeevy guy that people were like, oh, stay away from, but he was actually super great with me, and he just cared about video games, and he knocked on one day and said, listen, I know you're like too young for this game. How do your parents feel about it? It's like, trust me when I say they don't care. And I don't know if by the time this video goes up, I will have at some point got to the point of the fact that I saw my first pornography at 3 years old because of a fuck up at a video store. So, yeah, basically, at that point, my parents just didn't care. So I'm like, yeah, right, they won't care. What's the game? And he's like, it's just came out. It's called Resident Evil. I think you're going to love it. So it's like, okay. I put it on. Obviously, after he left, I put it on. And I sat, and I played, and I got obsessed, and I wasn't officially diagnosed as autistic then, but my word, there should have been signs for everyone, because Resident Evil, Metroidvanias, like, there's so many genres that feel like they were made purely for autistics. I played the ever-living shit out of Resident Evil. I speedrun it so many times. I got to the point where I knew exactly what I was doing, exactly how I was doing it, so what items I needed to carry with me. I got to the point where I didn't even bother carrying weapons because I'd just run past things. I used to run into the yawn fight, run straight to get the item and run away, and because I was speedrunning, it also meant that I'm pretty sure Richard's the one who gets bitten, because Forrest, I think, is the one who was dead from the crows. But I'm like, sorry, Richard, I don't care that you're poisoned. This is a speedrun. So yeah, it was a total obsession. And then Resident Evil 2 came out, and to be honest, I've never been the biggest fan of 2. I adore Claire Redfield. She's my all-time favourite character in Resident Evil. I think up there with Chris Redfield. I truly do love the Redfields, and I love Jill Valentine. I cannot stand Leon Kennedy. I've never been able to like Leon Kennedy. I hate the fact that he was this rookie cop, and he was just a shit-scared kid. And I understand there's going to be people going, well, that seems a little unfair, it's a zombie thing. But it's the fact that Claire was an untrained civilian, and she was just like, yeah, it's a zombie apocalypse, my dude. You're gonna have to get on with this. Like, do you want to be the person who's in panic mode and like not survive, or are you going to like smack yourself, wake yourself up and just go into survival mode? So I absolutely loved Claire. Never really vibed with Leon at all. And then Resident Evil 3 came out, and as much as I love Jill, that was not the best Resident Evil game. Code Veronica, absolutely phenomenal, and probably should officially be considered Resident Evil 3, to be honest. I really hope the rumours of them doing a remake are true. And unless I'm forgetting, and unless I'm missing one, then came Resident Evil 4. I hated the ever-living shit out of that game. I was like, this is not Resident Evil, it's just not. And yeah, I knew I was going to, not just bad, like, wow, getting a B rank. I actually killed all of the enemies in this run yesterday, so I didn't even realise Mercenaries could end until yesterday. I thought it was infinite, and I had like 3.5 minutes left and couldn't find any enemies, and I ran around for 30 seconds and killed the last one. It's like, oh, there's the last enemy, okay. Right, I might as well at least change things. But anyway, getting onto it. So I hated Resident Evil 4 when it came out. It wasn't survival horror, it was action. It had the character I hated the most in it. I couldn't stand it. I tried playing it on the GameCube. I tried playing it again on the Wii with pointer controls, and that at least made it slightly better, because I really wasn't keen on the third-person over-the-camera thing. I know fine well what I'm about to say is going to anger some people. Gears of War did not exist by this time. I fully understand that. So I don't know what the game I thought it felt like was, but the only way I could describe it by the time the Wii version came out was, it feels like a bad Gears of War. So I don't know what game I actually compared it to back in the day, but all I know is I was not a fan of Resident Evil 4. And then obviously 5 came out, didn't even bother playing it, still haven't beat it. 6 came out, never even started that. Eventually, I figured I might do 5 and 6, because apparently the story might be important for Requiem, but I'm just like, I really cannot vibe with these. Resident Evil might be dead for me. And then cut to 7. 7 comes out, and I started it in VR. I then had so many severe migraines because of PSVR being so awful, to be honest, that I struggled, so never got around to finishing it until a couple of months ago, when I thought I need to catch up, because I was so behind. I hadn't played 7, I hadn't played 8, I hadn't played 2 Remake, I hadn't played 3 Remake, but I had played 4 Remake. When 4 Remake got announced, I was like, oh great, you're remaking the worst Resident Evil game, because to me it was. I mean, obviously 6 was going to be worse, but I hadn't even played 6, so it's like, hey, you're remaking the one that everyone absolutely loves, but I hated so much because you killed my favourite franchise, because at the time, it wasn't like my overall favourite. Nothing will ever top Zelda, but it was the one that I played the most, to be honest. As much as I love Zelda, I've only ever really beat Ocarina of Time like 3 or 4 times. I just never got to the point of speedrunning those games, but with Resident Evil, hundreds upon hundreds of runs with all of the games. But it came out, and I saw some reviews, and I'm like, you know what? This might actually have fixed things. I have put hundreds of hours into this fucking game. It is night and day. It's breathtaking. It's every single thing that I could have ever wanted from a Resident Evil game. was this game. I couldn't believe it. I'm going through and I'm genuinely sitting there completely flabbergasted that this isn't just one of my all-time favourite games. It's probably going to turn out to be my favourite Resident Evil game. I couldn't stop playing it. I was speedrunning it. Just like I did in the old days. I loved every single fucking minute of Remake. And because I'd got to the point where VR tech had actually stopped hurting my migraines as much, I actually had a Quest headset, and I'm not going to get into the whole thing with Meta being just like pure evil at this moment in time. I haven't bought a game on that headset in a very long time. I didn't even get the likes of Deadpool and some of the bigger games that have came out recently, because yeah, I am just so done with that company. I never liked them anyway. I avoided Facebook for the longest time. I've always hated social media, to be honest, but then it got to the point where I really wanted to do VR and figured I'll get that and it'll allow me to do PC VR as well, and it did. But all of this to say, I'd got to the point where I loved this so much, I decided maybe I should try 4 again, but in VR. Because the reasons that I hated the original 4, it was too actiony, it wasn't survival horror, I never really found any of the reasons that I actually like Resident Evil, but it did have some good combat and it did have some decent puzzles. I meant to change character there, it doesn't matter. So I figured, in VR, that might work perfectly actually, because I want heavy action in VR. Turns out the original Resident Evil 4 is a perfect VR game for me. And it really isn't a case of that I just finally appreciated the original. I still cannot play the original Resident Evil 4. No matter how many hours I've sunk into this, no matter how many playthroughs I've sunk into the VR version, which... okay, I don't know why my game just suddenly froze there. Hopefully all's okay. Which I cannot stress enough how much I replayed the fuck out of this one, and then immediately, like the same week, as soon as I'd got to the point where I was kind of getting sick of replaying this, I went straight into the fucking VR version and replayed it again and again and again. It was fantastic, and yeah, I cannot vibe with the original still. I don't think the game works as a flat screen game. Now, obviously there's some people out there who absolutely love the original, absolutely love the remake, and honestly, that is brilliant for you. I'm glad that you can, because trust me when I say I never wanted to hate these games, but yeah, it had to be titled Second Chance, because I'm so glad I gave Resident Evil 4 a second chance. I've finally managed to find a way to play the original and enjoy it. The VR version, I cannot stress enough how brilliant it is. I would love to be able to play this version in VR. There is a PSVR 2 in this house, but every time I bring up about lending it, it just never seems to happen. And now I don't even use my PS5 anymore. Like, it has got such a heavy layer of dust under it, it's unbelievable. I genuinely only use my PC. So yeah, I think I'm kind of done with my full-on hyperfixation here, because I don't know what else I can say other than, I guess maybe I should say, as much as this is now my most replayed modern Resident Evil, I have finally caught up on the other games. So I played through 7 in full. 7's got some of the best highs and some of the worst lows. I think I would have enjoyed it so much more if I could have played the whole game in VR, but some of the boss battles are just so bad. I really didn't enjoy them. But then, cut to 8, and I wasn't really enjoying Ethan's story, I wasn't really enjoying the whole thing. I don't want to say it too much, because 7 and 8 do continue on, and it's kind of got major spoilers, so I'm just going to say I wasn't enjoying Ethan's story. And I didn't really like some of the side characters. So with 8, I was like, I'll play it. 9 really looks great, and I really can't wait to play 9, but I'll play it. I'm not expecting much out of it. I think 8 might be my single best Resident Evil first playthrough. I'm trying to describe it in a way that might make sense to you. The first time I played through Resident Evil 8, I played through it in first person, and then I played through it in third person right after. I think as a single playthrough, it is genuinely one of the best games, if not the best game in the entire franchise. But I don't find it as fun to replay as Resident Evil 4 Remake. I beat it once, as I say, first person, and then immediately in third person. By the time I'd done third person, I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm done. I genuinely don't need to play through this a third time. I will just move on. And then I moved actually on to Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I beat Claire's ear campaign, and I didn't really vibe with what they do with how they split up the campaigns, where they basically start you midway through. So I still haven't actually finished Leon's B campaign, and therefore haven't played Leon's A campaign and Claire's B campaign. As much as loads of people absolutely rave about that one, saying it's one of the greatest ones, I do like it, I really do, but I have issues with it. I hate how Mr. X works in it, because it just bored me. I was never scared by Mr. X. I was just, oh, yep, this is another moment of, I've ran all the way to the room that I need to go to. Mr. X just so happened to be there, and now I have to run all the way around in a big circle just to get to the room I wanted to go to. It just felt like it was dragged on. Thankfully, with 3 Remake, they did have similar mechanics of the Nemesis chasing you, but it was done so much better. And obviously, they did the mechanics as well with Village, Resident Evil 8 Village, and they were done so much better. I think they finally nailed the being chased by an enemy that you're supposed to be terrified of. I didn't find them annoying at any point. I just really, really liked it. So I have now finally caught up. I still haven't played through 5, 6, and Revelations 1 and 2. I've tried some of 5, I've tried some of Revelations. They just... Revelations has issues where it's... I understand it used to be a handheld game, but it's for the same reason I really dislike Luigi's Mansion 2. I hate the fact that there's this big boat that you're supposed to explore, but you explore it in absolutely minuscule little chunks. It's just... It's not for me. It feels like too much padding, like I'm not being able to enjoy the game and just explore. Like, I have to go through a bunch of cutscenes and then travel to playing as a different character, and then I go back to the boat, and so... Yeah, I'm not fully caught up, but I'm mostly caught up, and I am so hyped for Requiem, it's unbelievable. Like, I really hope by the time this video goes up, Requiem might even be out, to be honest, and I'm hoping I'm feeling better, and I'm hoping I can have actually said that I haven't had an absolutely awful fucking February. But until this happens, until all of this happens, hopefully you'll have been able to at least hear some game audio, because I'm now worried I've course corrected too far, and I still might upload this. If so, like, I would like some audio in the background, like some volume of something happening, but because, as I've already said, today's been rough, I'm happy with how the videos went, so even if it turns out it really is only my voice you can hear, then I'm just going to say apologies if that does annoy you. I will try my best in the future to not make that happen again. I'm still learning with the PC side of things. I was totally stunned by the sheer volume of Elden Ring when I did that video the first time, and then I did it the second time, and then the HDR thing happened, so it's why I've tried to turn it off for this, because, in fact, I wonder if it'll actually let me turn it on, because if nothing else, this might help me when I get back to watching this video to see if now it's totally washed out for everyone. Because it immediately looks better for me. I'm like, holy crap, yeah, this game is beautiful when the HDR's on. It's one of my favourite implementations of it. But without the HDR, it still looks really good. And if it turns out, because I'm only playing to actually do these videos, if it turns out you're getting a better video experience, then of course I will try my best to always turn the HDR off. So anyway, Waffle-mageddon done. This has been Sky Fellowship, and until the next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, see you next time. Bye!